Woo-hoo is all I have to say about today's show. Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am Shawn, and 63 years old. Been doing this since 11 years old, and passion never ceases to amaze me of my own desire to stop at every roadside cut, at every little pile of dirt I see. You never know. You never know what's there. Rocks are Shawn. Shawn rocks. Okay, today we have a trivia winner, but a couple things I want to get to again and make sure I stress them before I forget. I noticed a lot of you regular posters were doing tests this week, and to see if Shawn at gems.com actually does work, as well as Shawn at gemshoppingnetwork.com, as well as Shawn at gemshopping.com. Well, all those will still work. So Miss Barbara commented, which we'll read, that she thinks some might have been missed. Probably not, unless maybe your finger missed the button hitting it, because I still get Gem Shopping Network, Gem Shopping, and best of all now, just remember Shawn at gems.com. What, short, sweet, and brings you right to where you need to leave the comments. Now, from last week when I did the promotion of you got a free kyanite bead necklace if you had never posted before and were a new poster. So I had 4 names that had posted on the YouTube comment section. Just real quick, for full Shawn access, go to gemshopping.com. Okay, that's the primary website. At the very bottom, go to the sitemap for the extensive Gem Shopping Network web pages. Go to the sitemap. Then when you go to the sitemap, you'll see 2 columns. Go on the right-hand side column. Keep going down until you see where it says Ask Shawn. Click on that, and then it opens up to the world of rules for the trivia game. Also, the access to leave comments and what it takes for you to be able to win the prize, which is just very simple, phone number, email address kind of thing. You can read it. And also then the link to the how it's made, how it's done, how it's created, whatever you want to call it, 30 episodes where the director of production here, none other than, directed me and did all of the filming of 30 episodes where we take you behind the bench. I'm doing all the bench work and I'm talking at the same time. I knew a lot of goldsmiths that couldn't do that, actually. But I did the diamond remount program for Zales, and that's where, of course, you remount the stone while people waited, and all they want to do was watch and ask you questions. You're sitting there working, setting their diamond, and, they don't think. But that's okay. It gave me a lot of ability to multitask in that realm. So you'll get to see in the how it's done how rings are made from lost wax method, how rings are made from alloying your own rose gold, how a stone is flesh set, how a stone is the mill graining done on an antique ring, how to rebuild, how to set platinum, every different combination you would run into. As if you were going to your hometown jeweler, anything, any projects, prong tipping, we show you how all that is done. You want to take that in. Let's see. Okay, I have a lot to get to today, so those are just the short snippets, but I do want to run by again because Miss Arlene was able to jump the very simple hoops and filled out the area. She was real excited to participate. So the 4 of you had left your comments under on the YouTube page. So we just need you to go to Shawn at gems.com and leave your comments there. And you don't have to play the trivia or whatnot. But again, like I said, if you go to the site that I said or navigate to there, you'll be able to see whatever else it takes, because there were 3 more of you that won a kyanite necklace. It's very simple to fill it out. I want to give you that necklace. Miss Arlene, actually, we took care of it earlier in the week. She should be getting it. Well, by the time you're hearing this, she will have probably had it. So the other ones that we're still looking for was a Miss Karen W. that was very interested in kyanite. Then I see Miss Arlene, so she's getting one, and it was Sujay, S-U-J-E-Y, Bermuda. You know, that's just the nick that they use. So whoever if you're listening to this, you have won something. You don't have to pay anything to receive it. You just have to give Gem Shopping customer service the information. The rules are, or what's needed is just go to the trivia section, like I said, gemshopping.com, go to the sitemap, right-hand side of the sitemap, go down to Ask Shawn, click on Ask Shawn, you'll find everything you need right there. The last one was Miss Heidi, who loves the cat's eyes. So, Miss Heidi, don't miss out, because a lot of kyanites actually will have a cat's eye effect due to the way they are created as well. So, hey, if I'm giving something away, I want to make sure, if you are entitled to it, that you get that prize. It's important. So let's make sure that happens. Okay, let's get to the comments. I want to get to the inventory. You're going to love today's inventory. Let's see. From last week, we have, hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. So this was the one Miss Barbara thought she had sent, but didn't. So this is from the week prior. That was a fun, energetic show. Happy to get a souvenir of my visit to the hog mine. Remember that little rose quartz frog that came from the hog mine in Georgia, which is a well-known mine here, especially in Georgia, for quartz and especially for rose quartz. So she had actually been there. I haven't been there. The owner was kind enough, and I asked her, how did you get, because she told me about this aqua specimen. I said, how do you, because I know Barbara's a little older than me. How did you do all that? So she said the owner was kind enough to give this old lady with a cane a nice aquamarine crystal, but I forgot to buy something fashioned from rose quartz in their little shop. Now I have the perky little frog. What I tell you, if you watch this show long enough, you're going to see magic happen all the time. That little frog I've had for a long time. I have nothing else from the hog mine as representative of it. And she had forgotten to get that any souvenir representing the rose quartz that she dug at the hog mine, and lo and behold, she ends up with a piece anyway. My post office finally sent me a notice to come pick up a package before they returned it to sender. It was the Thuya wood boxes with enclosed specimens sitting there since 1019. Miss Barbara, okay, so remember, so Barbara's referencing free items. Now, free items take a little bit different path than the items that you buy. But they've gotten so efficient, a lot of times they ship them out just as quickly. But if not, if it takes a little longer, then please understand that. I kept waiting because I had never given away Thuya wood boxes in not three of them like that, with specimens in them, and then that surprise one specimen that she was not sure about. And Miss Barbara had never said anything, which was unlike her. So I was just curious if you had gotten them. So, good to see. So, she goes on to say, the lazy daisies never want to bother leaving a message that they tried to deliver. Now, remember, she lives in Brooklyn, so who knows what that's like. I was just about to send out the detectives on that. Love the shaped treen boxes. And was so surprised to get the mysterious tourmaline that stumped us all on the prior What Is It challenge. We're doing it today, by the way. We're doing a What Is It challenge. In person, it's exactly as you described, but so pale. The details couldn't be seen on the screen. Thank you. I love what you said at the end of your show. Look at the elements on the back of your vitamin bottle, of your multivitamin bottle, and realize how many of them mean something now because of the mineral knowledge we've gotten from you. So true. I bet we really do really well. I bet we could really do really well across the periodic table of elements and name minerals we've seen here for each element, excluding the gases, of course. I would love that. I was doing inventory this week, and you don't know how many times I said, boy, I wish all of you were in front of me, and it was like a round robin of information, discussion, and conversation. It would be really, to me, a lot of fun. As to the trivia, old mine-cut diamonds have small tables, high crowns, and flat culettes. Bet they cut the tip off because it poked through the setting and scratched the wearer, even though it made an ugly black dot right under the table. Duh. Yeah, we're talking about cuttings of diamonds, and one of the easiest ways to know you have an old diamond is if the culet, the point of the diamond, is not brought to a point. They actually put another little flat spot on it and didn't close it up until the 1940s in the transitional cut, and then, of course, with the monobrilliant in the 50s. Why it was ever there, I don't know, because when you look down on it, boy, it's like the worst window in the world you could have for a gemstone. You look straight through the hole, and that's what it looks like. It looks like a hole. And so that's one thing that, other than that, I love the cut to an old mine. I love the angles. I love the table. I love the fact that it's not always round. Okay, so the other question, Hessen, as in Hessenite garnet, means inferior. Trapeach derives from the Spanish name for a sugarcane mill and grinding wheel to extract cane juice. The word derives from the Latin trapetum, meaning oil mill. Hope everyone had a happy Halloween, had a nice sugar high, and uses that energy to go out and vote by November 5th. Being a member of the couch party just doesn't cut it. Get off the lazy boy. Don't be one. Take care all. Miss Barbara from Brooklyn. Okay, so that was her catching us up. Now, I also know how she got down to the hog mine and how she got it. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello, all. I'm glad to see more people getting involved. It's surprising to me there aren't a ton more folks. Welcome to all that are new. Shawn mentioned about his how-to videos. I've watched them all and still refer to them, and he never disappoints. And by the way, of course, Mr. Anthony is an active working silver and goldsmith, creating beautiful pieces of jewelry for the clients that he currently has. And so it's a big part of the show, and he would certainly be a great person or reference on how effective the videos are. So thank you for that, Mr. Anthony. And Asim's right here. You get, well, kind of right here in a little other area. And he deserves every bit of credit. Other than that, I would have been a word salad, you know. And wow, I can't tell you the difference a director makes. I watch movies now, and it's funny. Raymond doesn't like it always so much because I can't tend to watch a movie now, and I pick it apart for, you know, looking for gaps. Like if I see a mic dropped into the shot accidentally, or looking or wondering how they created a certain effect, and it's probably because I just in the TV studio too much, and also direction. I have realized now how important direction is. Yes, I could have gotten across how to size a ring. It would have been way too long of an explanation with far too much detail versus how he directed me into a concise presentation. And even with laying out the tools I was going to use for the shoot of the day first, which I thought was a brilliant idea. Anyway, I could go on. Watch those videos. It's so educational that when I watch them, I normally don't like watching anything of myself, like the live shows or anything on this show. Those videos, I watch myself and I think, wow, that guy knows what he's talking about. Seriously, it's kind of funny. I mean, if you were me, in my head. You don't want to be in my head, though. Okay, let's see. So, Mr. Anthony goes on, update on Hessenite stones. I'm building the setting, so not set yet. So, been able to loop them. So, remember he was complaining, he got the Hessenites, they sold so quickly to his client that was there when he got them that he was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to have fun, play with them, look at them, learn from them, learn what inclusions in a garnet, a particular type of garnet look like. Commit it to memory over time, you'll be able to recognize that stone just from looping it and the inclusions in it. I really love garnets. Opals, then garnet and tourmaline. Lately, garnet's way out in front of tourmaline. I'm right there with you, Mr. Anthony. Of course, garnet being my birthstone, the garnet family, for the fact of they're not able to synthesize them, they're not able to treat them effectively in any real manner, and that underneath the 6 different varieties, there's the sub-varieties. Like under Grosvenor, you have Savorite, you have Hessenite, you know, you have Luco garnet. So big family, a lot you can do with them, and a lot of garnets are in your backyard, especially here in North Georgia. Or in the creeks. All that little red sand you see when you pan down, garnet sands. They're all little garnets. Loop them. They're beautiful. Even little crystals sometimes. So above and beyond, Shawn, thank you for including me in the giveaway. I really appreciate it. That color of amethyst beads is amazing. I scored the turquoise cab parcel and the androdite crystal. That's a big one. I couldn't resist, especially at that price. You know, I was wondering about that. Why in the world did not anyone get that androdite cluster before? And so I marked it down. Anthony, you know when you just got that you were buying a quarter for a nickel. And anytime you can do that, you need to. because it doesn't take much research to realize how expensive those Japanese rainbow garnets are. By everyone I ever offer, someone needs to. Let's see. Okay, so on the trivia, the questions to the trivia were 3 questions. First one, what is the defining crystal shape? Now, it's important when I read the questions that you follow really exactly the wording of the question. What is the defining crystal shape to a Ceylon sapphire? So, I'm going to address someone that had an answer, a decent answer, but what didn't address the shape of the crystal. So we were looking for doubly terminated. Ceylon sapphires, the alluvial ones, are pointed at both ends, so doubly terminated. Question 2 was, what name is given to a type of feldspar that has the property that moonstone is famous for? So, the reflection you get back in moonstone is known as adulorescence. That stems from a type of feldspar that is called adularia. There are other moonstones that, everything from oligoclase, plagioclase. There's albite. There is actually quite a few moonstones will display that property, but the one that the name was adulorescence was named after is called adularia feldspar. So it's one of the albite anorthite range feldspars. So that's what we were looking for. What name is given to a type of feldspar that has the property moonstone is famous for? So if you know the actual name that is given to the reflection in a moonstone, it's just not a reflection. It's just not called, it's a moon glow or something like that. No, there's a word to it. It's called adulorescence. So we were looking for the name of the feldspar that word adulorescence was named for. And in it was the name, adularia. Question 3, what is a defining characteristic of dyed turquoise? A defining characteristic. And I think most all of you got that right, and that is darker, more intense color in the fracture lines or inclusion areas. Okay, so those were the questions. Let's go back to the answers that Mr. Anthony had. So, question number 1. Mr. And this is why it's subjective, and I know what you mean, and spelling I don't count either. So he said bipyramidal, and I definitely can read that as terminated. Pyramidal, of course, you didn't know exactly, and I'm not going to require people to know crystal systems. So basically, pointed at both ends and doubly terminated. So I accept that. Second question you got, adularia. Question 3, color darker along fractures or cracks. Well done. Miss Cindy, hello, Rock family. Great items and information for us this week. I want to see those pictures of your road cut adventure, and I want to show them to you. We just didn't have time today in today's show for me to get them to Asif to upload. We're going to be working on that, though. They're pretty cool to see. Thank you, and big thank you, so much for the amethyst beads. They look beautiful and are my birthstone. I remember that now, Miss Cindy, that you said that. I can wear with my amethyst briolette jewelry I got from you previously. Happy. And I remember that amethyst piece you got. So how cool. Trivia, double termination. Adularia and dye accumulates in the cracks or seams of the turquoise. Have a wonderful week. We'll be eating turkey and prepping for Christmas very soon. 2025 is almost here. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. My proverb, time flies, whether or not you're having fun. Well said. Miss Gabby. Miss Gabby. Chuck, you can come over here. Miss Gabby says, greetings, gang. Well, Shawn, you may not have many new folks commenting on the shows, but they definitely are shopping. LOL. Have missed out on the last few items I have called in on. But all good. As we know, most of the time things go where they are meant to be. Thought. Not that I wouldn't love to hear from new people, but if you had 20 or 30 comments a week, would you have time to show product? Well, not at the rate I talk, I wouldn't. Guess you could read them in shorthand, she says, LOL. I said to myself when I thought about that, Miss Gabby, I said, I will worry about that if it happens and when it happens. So since it hasn't happened, and I'm begging people to do it the right way to give away items for a little comment, then I guess we're not going to have to worry about that too much. But I mean, you know, again, we're up to what, 10,000 at a rate of close to 100 a month still, regularly adding new subscribers. So people are watching, people are tuning in, people are buying items out from under you, Miss Gabby. I'm so sorry. So Miss Gabby goes on trivia, withdrawing. So she opts out often if she wins, or, you know, just to let other people win. Ceylon crystals are doubly terminated. Adulorescence and concentration of color in the fissures. Well done on all. Mr. James, known as Jimbo from Delaware. Shawn and all. I'll answer. Doubly terminated. Then he says albite. Albite, okay, you know, technically albite, we were looking, of course, for the root word to adulorescence, so adulary. So, but other than that, albite can still produce a kind of a moon glow, but not quite the word we were looking for. Dyed turquoise will have veining colors, so well done, 2 out of 3. Great show as always. Keep grounded and look down. Who knows what will be found? Jimbo in Arizona. Though it says Jumbo, I think that's a typo. Unless, since you're retired there now, Mr. Jimbo, that you're just kicking back on that lazy boy that Miss Barbara talks about a little too much, and maybe you've gotten to be Jumbo in Delaware. Of course. Humor. I had gained so much weight, but I've been losing it now. Well, all for the wrong reasons, you know, when you can't eat everything you're supposed to. Okay, Miss Barbara. So this is now the current Miss Barbara. Hi, Professor Shawn, Raymond, GS and crew, and the whole Rock family. Professor, you and Asif had me laughing. Please don't eat dirt, even in jest. My 6-year-old self. Okay, 6-year-old self, that would be you. Okay, my 6-year-old self did on a dare eating a bite of mud pie made out of real mud. Wow, Miss Barbara, really? Hey, I got a Galena geode you might be interested in. Yeah, thought a real mud pie. Okay. Austin said he'd only do it only with ketchup. Apparently, ketchup makes everything taste good, you know? I could tell you some ketchup stories. You know, there's one story. You know, let me digress. Okay, so I've been to 6 or 7 continents, been around the world. And one of the most amazing things was I was in Australia, and I had finally, you know, it's nice to finally eat some food you're familiar with. So, I went to a McDonald's. Okay, so here was the table. There's 8 guys. They look like they just came back from a rugby game, I think. You know, burly guys sitting at a table. You know, I'm just sitting by myself because I was traveling by myself at the time. And in synchronization, all of them at the table that got their hamburger, whether it was the Big Mac, the quarter pounder, didn't matter. Every single one of them took the lid off, what they call a lid, took the top of the burger off the bun off, and took the pickle out. Every single one of them took the pickle out. To them, a pickle on hamburger was the most foreign thing they could imagine. So when I was in New Zealand, that's when I traveled New Zealand with my dad. We were making the ferry crossing to Christchurch, to the South Island. And we ordered a burger on the big boat. It was a longer, so it had a nice little food place, a burger. As standard fare. And they're going to make fun of our pickle? On standard fare, when you order a burger, you get what they call it beetroot. You get sliced beets and a fried egg. I kid you not. Fried egg and that's what you get. That's what they get. So, you know, it definitely, you know, McDonald's is going to always taste like McDonald's. And that's why when I was like in Thailand, Bangkok, I couldn't wait to get to some food I could recognize and be familiar with the taste. Burgers, so you go to McDonald's, taste the same. They're going to have a pickle on it no matter what. Getting that burger on that ship. You know what? My dad always said, don't knock it till you tried it. That was his famous saying. So we both tried it and we loved it. I absolutely loved it. Somehow those flavors all go together. And maybe it was just the environment, crossing the sea on the ship. Anyway, yeah, we are all different, but I did not eat a mud pie. So let me go on. So here she is. So eating a bite of mud pie made out of real mud. I unfortunately discovered the joys of trench mouth and a week of rinsing with god-awful tasting purple potassium permanganate solution. I do not recommend it. No, but I like messing with that chemical. You wanted to know about my travels. Well, the hog mine was a side trip organized by the gemstone lady we used to watch on another network. After their yearly convention was over, our group of about 30 all got on a big school bus and traveled from Knoxville, Tennessee, round trip to the Rose Quartz mine in Georgia. That was a haul. It was hot, buggy, and we got the obligatory afternoon showers, but it was a hoot. As to Hiddenite, remember, she went to Hiddenite, North Carolina. I have a lifelong friend who lives in central North Carolina who kindly drove me there to do sluicing twice. Poor guy. I don't think he'd ever been covered in that much red muck in his life. Herkimer, New York, Franklin, New Jersey, and the Zeolites in Trap Rock in Paterson, New Jersey were back when I was in college. That was the era when Star Trek was new on TV. Now mobility issues keep me home, and my adventures thankfully come to me via YouTube and Zoom. Not as much fun, but a lot cleaner, and I no longer sport a constant miner's manicure. Thank you for the beautiful, high-quality amethyst beads. You know, every single one of you have mentioned the quality of those amethyst beads. There shouldn't have been any left at what I was offering those for. She goes on to say, I had pointed them out. Now, these are the amethyst beads I gave away to 3 people the other week, to all 3 winners. So I had pointed them out to friends as the best strands on your mostly bead program back in mid-October. I like the way you say mostly bead program. No, it was mostly a bead program, but I had so many that I found that I needed it to sell. You're going to like today's show, though. Back in mid-October. And here I get some as a prize. Show magic. So she pointed out these beads to a friend and told her how beautiful they were and whatnot. And then she ends up getting what she complimented to her friend about. And she got them for free. So definitely show magic. As to the trivia, the Salon Sapphire crystals have 2 pointy terminations. I like that. 2 pointy on the hexagonal structure. Adularia, and thus adularescence, is the feldspar with the moonstone sheen. Concentrated dye around the cracks indicates dyed turquoise. I'm going to show you some of that today if we have time. Glad you told us about the Shawn at gems.com. I think some of our comments went astray. I hope not. And hopefully you'll be getting some new blood to speak up. Join the conversation and play our game. Have a great week and enjoy the cool fall, but no fires, please, until we get some serious soaking rain. Miss Barbara from Brooklyn, we got some rain finally in here in Georgia, but I don't blame you. I cannot believe, I didn't know there was that much forest in New Jersey to be burning like that. That's how horrible. Of course, we know about the pine barrens and hear about them and that creature that lives in the New Jersey pine barrens. What's the name of that Chuck? The one that, you know, on the bridge? The Mothman. That's it. Mothman. Yep. Don't you love when I put you on the spot? Yeah, huh? Okay. No one does that upstairs. But, you know, here I love to include Asa for you. You guys feel free to jump in. Yeah, the New Jersey Devil. Yep, they call it that. It looks a little different than the Mothman, but I think it's still probably kind of, in general, the same. Okay, so we only had a few winners, but now we have from our newest member. Let's listen to what Miss Arlene says. Wow, thank you so much for giving the winners a chance to own one of your amazing items. This is the most exciting thing. Now remember, Miss Arlene won the kyanite beads and then just jumped through the small hoops so that they could be delivered to her. This is the most exciting thing that has happened to me in months, maybe even years. And I'm saying it like that and looking at the camera like that because Asif and I had a conversation about this. And, you know, this giveaway is something I've done for 7.5 years now. And it's not just trinkets. It's something that matters. It's something of importance, and it's something that hopefully allows people to participate in. Some people, like myself, I have never even won anything like the kyanite necklace that you won. So I know that feeling. This is the most exciting thing that has happened to me in months, maybe even years. I never win anything, so this is truly special. Even if it were cold, I would still be thrilled to examine it. I just started watching your show recently, and I've been learning so much in a few weeks. I've been tuning in. I absolutely love the show and have been sharing it with all my Rockhound friends so they can learn along with me. And that's all I ask. Share the show. Share the link. I realized that even if I had been doing this for a lifetime, there would always be something new to discover in the world of rocks and minerals. That's exactly right. That's why my passion never ends, because, you know, there's always something more to learn, to go investigate. And no matter where you are, there's geology, no matter where you are. And like I told you, got off on the cruise ship, on a cruise on this little remote Bahama island that the cruise company kind of keeps for their own use. So I just wanted to get away from the people, started walking on this little shell road, found a little opening in the ground. And I, of course, me loving caves and whatnot, crawled in that opening and pulled out calcite crystals. Calcite crystals. I didn't know I was going to be rock hunting on this trip, but sure enough. And you know what? I always have a flashlight. Doesn't matter where I am. Always have a flashlight with me. So I was able to go because it got dark, and but it didn't go back far. It wasn't anything scary, and it was just naturally made. Created a little opening in the ground, and allowed formation of calcite. Some of the neatest, most unique story of rock hunting I have ever done. So if you think there aren't rocks somewhere that you don't know. You just have to look for them. So she goes on to say, I find myself particularly drawn to the mineral side of rock hunting. I often get lost in the information about an item, or as I like to call it, rocked out. That's a great saying. For hours daily, I have so much to say, but the excitement is overwhelming and leaves me at a loss for words. Miss Arlene, this is such a positive, uplifting comment that you've left. I love to see and hear the energy in your voice and what this show has, contributed to and helped bring out that level of passion. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to receive the necklace and spend hours studying it and examining it. Miss Arlene from Arkansas. Again, thank you. Let me know if you need anything else. Now, listen to this. The last comment is from her. Hi, Shawn. I love the show and learn so much as always. I only wish I could have taken advantage of your amazing chocolate opal, but unfortunately it wasn't in the budget this month. Maybe next time. So for the trivia, the question number 1, this is pretty good. And it's not totally incorrect. So my question was, what is the defining crystal shape? Okay, so Miss Arlene mentions pointed, but the other thing she mentioned is fluorescence. And yes, across all 3 of those crystals have an incredible orange fluorescence. So, which I did talk about and feature. So anyway, you get that one right. Question number 2, spelling doesn't count. And sometimes my pronunciation, talking too fast, it might sound differently, but Aguilera is certainly close enough to Aguilera. Question number 2, right? Question number 3, which was, what is the defining characteristic of dyed turquoise? And you say fracture lines being darker than the surrounding material. Bingo. All 3 correct. I saw you were in Florida, she goes on to say. I was born in Dade County and raised in Collier County. As an adult, I lived in the Panhandle in places like Navarre and Milton. Now I live in a small town called Waldron, Arkansas, about 45 minutes from the quartz mines in Mena, Arkansas. Quartz mines, I haven't been there yet and probably won't go, especially since I can find all the quartz I want in my own backyard and surrounding property. We have 50 acres to rock hound on, with permission from the surrounding neighbors, making about 500 acres in total. I don't blame you. I wouldn't leave my land. Here in the Wichita Mountains, it's more than I can hunt in a lifetime. Thanks again for the opportunity to win and for the amazing show. Best regards, Miss Arlene. Wow. Okay. Well, I know where we're taking our vacation then, Miss Arlene. We're just going to crash your 50 acres and we're going to find some quartz. You know what? You probably do. You probably do have quartz on your property, or especially within that 500 acres. In that area, I read in a very small area, there's over 700 quartz mines. Producing quartz deposits that produce. So yeah, that is a really good place to do some rock hunting. And I'm really glad you enjoyed the show. So as the rules state, if you want to go see them in the trivia section of on the webpage site, if there are multiple winners, we assign a number to each winner, and then I have someone call or just pick a number from 1 to 4, however many winners there are. And the magic of the show evens everything out in a way. I don't know. Magic. Can't explain magic. This week, we had the winner. We had a couple opt-outs, so that made it a little higher opportunity for those others of you. But as the magic and the fate of the show would have it, Miss Arlene, you have won another item. Let's show Miss Arlene what she has won. And this is perfect because you know what this is, Miss Arlene? This is everything to do with me. I mined these. I tumbled these. If you watch the show long enough, I'll tell the story again about where I found them and the two different places I found them. But this is genuine Georgia moonstone, and a perfect item since we were just talking about moonstone. And so you can see that, let me get my pointer, just so you know what adulorescence looks like. So when you see a play of a sheen go across the face, like right there. You can, that's the adulorescence. That's what you look for. And it can be, depending on how how the stone is oriented, it can be at different angles. There is peach moonstone, of course, which I love, Georgia being the peach state. Here's a really nice peach moonstone. You can see the crystalline areas to it, that it is here's a piece I can just tell we'll have, there you go. Here is the nice, there, look at that. There's a beautiful moonstone reflection right in there. And this is, look at that one. Did you see that? Let me actually do this. Chuck, there we go. Look at that wonderful sheen across the face of that. Some of these will have blue, but the really neat thing is, there we go. Look at that. And the fact that I actually mined them and I tumbled them myself. So that always, I think, counts for something more and special. You can look at that. So play around with them. Different angles give you a different look. This is one of the, if I have any more, I'll have to tumble some additional ones, because I think this was my last batch of tumbled moonstone. And so since you are in the Arkansas, the quartz capital of the United States, Georgia has incredible moonstones. So it works out perfect because you get something neat from the state. And as a new fan of the show, an item that I personally mined and tumbled. Not too many of those items left. So be looking for that to receive that as well. All right, let me put those away and I'll be right back with the star of the show. Don't fight too much over this one, but there's not going to be another one this nice. You've been wanting this. The last one you guys scooped up, but the quality of this one, it really exceeds it. Remember, rose quartz is not one of those type quartz that is found what would be called transparent. Translucent is a better word. In other words, it's always kind of foggy, kind of like a prehnite. So when you can see, you're going to see in a moment just how much clarity this one does have. This is unique and different. Oh, wow. Look at the legs on that star. Look at that. Now, in the world of star rose quartz, again, it's also always a soft star, but should be very easily visible. Look at that. Look at those legs. Now, if there is, in a sphere, a star on one side, all you have to do is follow the lat lines. Oh, look at, you pass a nice iris going through. Follow a leg all the way over till you get to an intersection where, there they are. There's the other legs, and you can see the conclusions look different here. So it's, completely the opposite side. You have a 6-ray star, not cabochon, sphere. Look at the size of this. Look at how big it is. And it is a lovely color pink. Now, let me just show you for translucency's sake, just how, in the world of rose quartz, just how transparent, translucent that is. I mean, very few inclusions in it. So that is certainly a very collectible piece. And let me do one more thing, show you just how pink it actually is, because we were playing with that for a minute, and I also want to make sure you actually captured that's how accurate and how much effort Austin takes into it, that it matters to him. So you can see that has, yeah, that capturing it perfectly right there, perfectly. And you can see just a lovely, lovely pink color with that beautiful, beautiful. It really does. Yeah, no, that's beautiful right there. There you go. That's a screenshot to capture. Okay, this, this quality is everything. Do not be thrown off by spheres that, well, you get what you pay for. If you get one same size, I can almost assure you the clarity will not be at the level that this one is, nor how well defined the star is on both sides. $88, you get the cool wooden stand with it, which, with the color of the stand, just kind of enhances it. A beautiful, beautiful piece. Okay, now let's, sticking with that theme, let me show you item 122324. 122324, and I am telling you what, in the world of iris spheres, iris quartz, this is one that is going to be difficult to beat. We had kept this one for a long time and enjoyed it. It is, you see that, Chuck? Yeah, see, Chuck hasn't seen a lot of this stuff. Austin, some of it's just, oh, I've seen that before. But for Chuck, it's neat to see his reaction.
Another dimension in there.
Yeah.
It is another dimension. I know. Exactly. I'd love to hear it when these guys that aren't rock hounds get into something and see something so unique and different that they comment about it, because that is what the same feedback I need to hear from all of you watching that I don't get to hear. You're not sitting in front of us like, we have, of course, Gem Shopping is 24/7. We have a huge studio outside of this one, of course, where you have sales reps in front of you, and you can get a feedback from the clients because the clients are on the phone with the sales rep while things are being presented. So we don't have that here. So when I hear these two guys get excited about something, I know in general, everyone out there is like, wow, that's a ooh and ah. It truly is. It truly is. This is an opal out of quartz. I mean, and what creates most of that iris reflection? Water vapor. Water vapor is the most common inclusion in quartz, and I'll probably be able to show you some here in a minute, because it will squeeze it until these micro, look at that, you get the entire prism. This is one of the finest iris quartz spheres I have ever had, and that's why it has been in our personal collection. If you just keep going, look at the purple. Okay, you didn't see any purple there. You turn it this way, look at that. Look at the greens. I mean, this is stunning. Now, as we come back away from this a little bit, let's continue the search and see what else look at this. Okay, yeah, it doesn't stop. Look, now we have a huge expansive area of a different look, of a different form of a prism. Look at that. This is why, and now, believe me, you cannot find a quartz sphere like this when you're just buying spheres at a table, at a show. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. It is bouncing through and coming through. And I'm only turning it in one particular. I'm kind of going this way. What if I turn it down this way? You're going to get a whole different set of, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Look, you know what? It reminds me of that the Christmas, laser lights thing that as you, the different lights that come out as you, wow.
Planetary.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is like a different, this is a film.
Jupiter.
Yeah, it is Jupiter. Saturn, rings. Yeah, there we go.
It's not the ring. It's Jupiter with the patterns of the...
Oh, yes, you're right. Around it, you're right. The rings of Jupiter, yeah. And then look at how that disappears. And as we keep exploring it, there is not a face on this where you do not see some type of iris reflections. And like I said, okay, so you spin it another direction, you're going to get a whole different set of reflections. Okay, this is what I want to show you. Let's just look at this one little, wow, look at that. We hadn't even seen this one. That is a completely, this is where, and when you buy something like this, you don't just put it on the shelf. You look at it for hours. You gotta look at it and study it for hours. Like, look at the little blue just up here, these little dots. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. When you look at it like this, it doesn't look like anything is there, right? Well, if you catch the angle right, what you're looking at, that is a completely, and if we turn it on its side, it's gone. That is water vapor. And you can see right back there. You can even look look at the side over here. See that? You can see that, and then it is water vapor squeezed between, and that is why you can wind up with anhydrous in quartz. And look at this. This is one of the most magnificent iris quartz spheres that you could ever hope to possess. We'll just leave it on that one. That's had a whole completely different note than we had it on a moment ago. But here's the other cool thing. This is actual glass stand. This is actually a glass stand. So I thought a perfect item to go with it. It's not an acrylic base. So that causes your eye to focus on nothing but the piece. If it was wood, if it was anything else, the eye gets distracted. That is a perfect stand for the perfect item to be displayed on it. Opportunity on this piece is a real a real bargain. You could look at countless number of spheres and never get that effect, never get that type of irises in there. So I'm going to make this one, let's make it easy on you. You can, if you only have so much to spend, you can spend $88 on the Star Rose quartz, or you can spend $88 on this beautiful piece. So only $88. There you go. And again, iris quartz is priced as for iris quartz. It's not a sphere you can just go walk up and expect to find that type of look in a table of spheres. It would either have been cherry picked out long ago, or you'd find it in a separate area offered for a lot more money. Okay, now, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Yeah, you're gonna know a lot by the end of it. Okay, now, I want to get this in because I said I would. I think it's really important. We had been talking about turquoise. Let me show you. I have here, this is just an educational moment. Awesome. I have here a turquoise ring. Now, if you look at it, you can see there's different color areas. But is this a turquoise that has been dyed? There is turquoise with natural color patterns in them that are uneven. What you want to look for in a dyed piece is if it's dark, the dye concentrates near fracture lines or porous areas. At first glance, and catching the light even on the side of it, I do not see any fracture lines, yet I see these darker areas. Well, I wasn't convinced that that was natural. So I used my lovely handy dandy high-powered magnification here. It's 30 power versus 10 power loop. And if you look at those darker areas, let me catch the light here, you can actually see tiny, tiny little, this isn't even showing it as well as I wanted it to, but tiny.
Go all the way in.
Yeah. You got any more? Is that all the way in? Okay.
Bring the loop closer to him.
Okay. Okay, let's try that. Yeah. See if that, okay. Now can,
Now, focus or give him a way to focus.
there we go. Can you, let me see if I can leave that.
No, it's not focused.
Yeah, no. So, oh, wait,
See how much
wait,
bigger it
it did. Wait, hold on. It did get bigger. What's happening? It did get bigger.
It is getting bigger.
Wait, where's the focus point? Oh, that's on you now, Chuck. Okay, Chuck, that's great. Yep, hold on, I will.
Tilt down, Chuck. Now, there you go.
Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to show that was not visible.
Move your loop closer to Chuck. Right there, now focus again. Or bring it back in. Right.
Okay,
Slowly, keep going in. Closer to the stone.
okay, I am. Let's see. He has to,
All right, now bring your hand down. Then we can see more gold.
yeah, so now can you focus on the
You won't be-
stone? No, not right in here.
Because the focal point-
Okay, so let me come,
You're just bring it closer to him.
okay, yep, closer to him.
Slowly keep going.
Now it's getting more blurred the further away.
Now bring it in to the stone slowly. And find the gold.
Okay, I see the discoloration I'm looking for.
Hand down. Your right hand,
Yeah, it's holding it.
you're tilting the loop away from the angle of the hand.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so that's it away.
Straight. Now bring the
There.
loop up. Then keep that angle straight of the loop
Okay,
with the camera. Now just move the ring.
there we go. Move the ring makes sense. Ah, there we go. There we go.
Anything away, further away. Leave the loop where it is. Just take the ring further away.
Okay, there must be an area in there Chuck has to.
All right, now hold the shut. There you go.
Okay, this is what I want. Okay, can we focus on the stone?
Ring. What? Yeah, move the ring to see what you want.
Oh, wait, this shows perfectly what I want. Hold on. I see perfectly what I want. So, Chuck, if you can just focus on the stone through the loop. Okay, this shows exactly what I want. It's very hard to discern, but you can see, no, it actually is very easy. I see these little tiny dots, everyone? Hold on, there's little tiny, that's too, where's the better pointer? Yeah, no, because it shows what I wanted to show, and that is these microscopic little dots that are that are in, yeah, you see those little sand dots, those little imperfections in the darker areas.
Move your line a little bit. There you go. We can iron them. Go ahead, iron some. Okay. You can see those dots right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that is exactly what I wanted to capture, was that, oh, there it is. There they are perfectly on that top one especially.
Yeah.
So you can see where the two dots are in that top one, but if you follow around where the darker blue is, there's actually microscopic little sand pits in the entire discolored, darker area. And at first, you don't see that. There's no fissure lines that come to the surface, and most people would think that that's a natural piece of turquoise. It is not. It is not. And the difference could be huge. What that would cost them is a fraction of what a natural piece of turquoise would cost you. Now, let me show you something really important. This piece of turquoise, and I say that reservedly, okay, was in a really nice piece of silver. Remember I talked to you about how they can put so much plasticized epoxy resin or any combination of that into turquoise to stabilize it, but it gets to where it's almost more fake stabilization material than it is turquoise itself, or it's not turquoise at all. Here's one way to tell that it doesn't matter whether it's a plasticized turquoise or whether it is fake altogether. I have just my pair of pliers here, and I have a sharp point. If it is anything to do with a plasticized, over-treated turquoise, which, believe me, I've done my tests, is at least 50 to 75% of the turquoise out there. So what you do is, let me show you, you just take a point of something that's even within the same hardness as turquoise. Turquoise has a hardness of 5 to 6. This is hardened steel, so this is probably a hardness of, in that same range. If it is natural turquoise, that tip should just slide across it like as if it was on glass. If it is something that has been doctored, let's see what it does. Wow, look at that. I am applying very little pressure. Remember last week when I said it digs a furrow, and it will leave, just like you're digging for a garden, it will leave what would be, quote, dirt or the furrow up on either side of it as it goes. It's not scratching it, it is digging it out. And you can see, look at that. Look at that. That is not turquoise. And so when you get a powder residue like that, Now,
You're gonna get people killed.
Let me I know. I thought about that. Everyone's going to be testing their turquoise. Okay.
Ruining stones left.
I know. Now, we said this was turquoise, but it may have just be dyed, right? So that would be an improvement if it was just dyed. So let's see. Look at that. I cannot get that to grab whatsoever. I can't even get it to leave a scratch. It may just barely scratch the surface. So that's genuine turquoise. It's just been dyed. So now we have two kinds, and two different looks. I would much prefer this one. Now we come to this. Now, if you remember, and since we're doing this, I'll take the one extra minute here if I can, real quickly. And for those of you that have not seen this little demonstration before, it's something that should be done in every educational area of gem shopping. I went to a show one year and I wanted to see for myself what was available in turquoise. Take a look. How many different colors do you want? They had a range of colors. These are natural pieces of turquoise, but this is how it ends up looking. They are cemented together with epoxy, plastic, resin, all that other gunk junked in. So when you cut a cabochon out of a small area of it, it can look very natural. They sell this by the pound. These are 1 pound blocks. And here's another color, looking very real. Now, let's take this back to this. So we have our supposed turquoise. If you look at this, you look like, well, it looks like it's been put together with pieces. When you look on the back and you follow the edge of this, that really looks like it might have been from a larger piece. So let's test something. I actually haven't done this. Let's do our little test on this. Different pieces may test differently. Okay, see, this is oh, there we go. There we go. That one just, see, that piece was slicker than this piece. It's because it's put together with a little bit of everything, and the fill in between, let's see, the supposed glue, like this blue. Look at that. So what is holding all these pieces together, this bluish material, is probably almost all plastic. If you get into something that might be genuine, well, then you find out just how genuine or how doctored it is. Not as much as this material that's in between. That is the cementing material. So that doesn't pass inspection. That other piece wouldn't either. Let's go back to this and let's see exactly what do we have here. So, Asif, you need to be behind, you need to be a host.
That's real right there.
See, now how the heck, see, okay, I give up. No point in me showing this because this is how much the cameraman, Asif, who's been here forever, he has learned so much that he knows his knowledge. I'm going to tell it right now.
He's an expert on genuine clone turquoise.
Right now, he has more knowledge about turquoise than, well, I'm going to say many other hosts that sell turquoise, especially someone that specializes in turquoise. Yeah, I won't go there. Yeah. There is, also, we're going to get into maybe Native American. I haven't even gone into my knowledge and what I can tell you about Native American. Okay, so let's test this. Boy, that just slides right off it. Look at that. I cannot grab that. That's a natural piece of turquoise, just as Asif said. How he knew that and said that, I don't know, but the man is smart and he listens to my show. He has no choice and he knew it. So this is why, if you see that, it doesn't just all about it. Turquoise can form mottled colors. If it looks like this on the back, but totally looks different on the front, no, these are not pieced together. You can see by the unevenness of it, you can see there's none of that, quote, binding material that binds bigger pieces together. This is a natural piece of turquoise. And do we see any darkened color in any of the fish? No, It's completely natural piece of turquoise. And this last piece I'm going to show you, look at that. That is Sleeping Beauty color. Could easily be from the Sleeping Beauty Miami Inspiration Mining District. Let's check it. Is it slick or does it dig? Wow. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that dug and left without hardly any pressure.
That big red power.
Look at that. Look at that. Throw it away. That's all. It's good.
Look at the different colors.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that and the other one.
Gem shopping gives you information whether it hurts sales, helps us. No, we're all about giving you the right information for you to make the right choices. And the lesson you just got on turquoise is far beyond anywhere else you will. Yeah, that ring is absolutely what fools everybody right there. But I think I was able to just prove that natural turquoise died, natural turquoise not died, all the way natural. This one plasticized. All right. Great job. Everybody absorb that. Wait till you see what I have coming up for you next. I'll put my little, in that neat chuck. And those blocks of turquoise, you realize, wow. And there's so much of this South American jewelry South American, yeah. Native American being made like that. Okay. Now, what I have next is something I don't think I've shown in this show before. Item number 1220, 124, and it's a great item to segue into, going from the iris quartz to look at this. This is a fossil, ladies and gentlemen. Alberta, Canada, the world-renowned ammolite.
Just telling Nori, I won't be here starting Thursday, but I'm going to Alberta, Canada.
No way. You're going up to see your wife's family. Wow. Wow.
Odd if you just pointed that.
That is, yeah, how often do you ever hear Alberta, period, Canada used? And then for me to just say it, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's the magic of the show. Where Awesome is getting ready to go. Okay, so Alberta, Canada, along the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains, the ammonites are found. Ammonites, because the entire central United States on up into Canada was a giant inland sea. At one time. It was all a sea. Other than that, how are you finding ammonites in Wyoming or ammonites in Alberta, Canada, that are a saltwater species and you're landlocked up there from the ocean? It's because there was that huge inland sea, the same inland sea that, the Green River fossil fish, so many other fossils, you wonder where they come from. Where's the water? Well, geology is an amazing thing. And at one time, again, a giant inland sea covered the United States and actually separated our country on up into Canada. Now, ammonites. Ammonites, of course, you've seen the ammonites. We've had the fossils. We've sold the fossils. They are a type of cephalopod. They're related to the modern day nautilus. And they, in prehistoric times, of course, ranged from the size of a dime up to 6 feet across. And they lived at different levels in the ocean. What happened? They died. They fell to the seafloor. In time, they were buried. In more time, it actually slate or shale developed around them, and then the process of aragonization. I'll say aragonite, converting the shell, the calcareous shell, to aragonite, and it is the layers of aragonite creating the diffraction grating that gives you this play of color. Now, something that, so many people don't know and don't realize or don't have the knowledge to tell you. Why is purple and blue the rarest color? Red is the rarest in opal, but why is it not the case? Red, yellow, and green are the most common colors in ammonite, and this is the reason why. what it takes to diffract and give you the color red takes a thicker layer of aragonite for that to occur. Well, when you have the thicker layer, it's going to hold up better and be sturdier, right? What creates the blues and the purples are thin areas of the aragonite that has replaced the shell material. And it is because those areas are real thin that they were crushed and often are not able to be saved when they're extracting specimens. So when they hit a specimen, either a part of a shell or a whole one, it is crazy. They take a huge amount of super glue and they super glue the whole top of it before they ever try to remove it from the material, from the matrix that it is in. And only when, you know, the super glue has locked everything into place, then the shell is extracted and worked on from there. Here is what you have to watch out for. A lot of ammonite, which of course the gem variety is called ammonite. A lot of it is either made as a triplet with a covering over the top and a backing behind it. There's also a lot of forgeries, I don't know, fakes, whatever you want to call them. I have seen them use aluminum foil underneath a quartz dome and aluminum foil done so, like painted aluminum foil, and it reflecting very similar. It was amazing, but I was able to spot it, and I called the dealer out on it, and they were not happy about it, and they denied it at first, and I got fussy. This was actually at a show in Asheville a number of years ago. This past year's show was canceled due to the flooding. It happens. It happens. So it's buyer beware. This piece, look at this. So you have the natural material, the natural matrix that it's found in, and so what was left of the shell was a portion of the shell, but an incredible portion of the shell because it holds all the colors available to you, the purples, the blues, and it is of this nice, just kind of rugged, natural look. Now, this is not like a polish. They of course put a well, first is the super glue coating, and then they put like enameling, whatever formula they use as a hardening agent to stabilize it all. But this is a stunning piece to have on display in any collection, and a must if you love organic jewelry, organic gems. Of course, your organic gems, remember, pearls, you know, something that came from something that was organic. This ammonite, and ammonite was only accepted as a gem. It was only really first discovered in 1908. So not that long ago was that deposit even found. And ammonite becoming a gem some 50, 60 years ago. Price on this, only $128. I was floored when I saw, so that's just a little over $1 a gram. Yeah, $128. When I saw how much ammonite has gone up. Ammonite has gone up. It floored me how valuable this material has become. All right. Oh, I got so much to do. I need to get going. Item number 1220-424. 1220-424. Take a look at this. You're going to be seeing things that you're going to want and love. And this is probably one of them. A malachite box. Malachite box. Look at these beautiful natural patterns. This is, it's not a boo-boo or a break or anything. It's just a little piece of malachite right there. Look at that. And then look, it's all malachite. All genuine malachite. And then look at the way they do that. And it's done so well and so precision made that you can't put the top on the other way because it won't fit right. See? It'll be over. So that's, you always know that you have it on the right way because, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? And you want to, look at, this is one of the bigger ones. I had a box of them that were about half the size. There were 50 of them in the box. I think over 50 of them. So imagine, you see how the box lids only fit a certain way, Chuck? Mm-hmm. We had a whole box, and the boxes were in these individual little boxes, okay? Well, I'm just going to blame it on her since she's not here. Raven knocked the box over and all the lids came off the boxes. And think about that. When lids, there's 4 different ways to put them on. And you have 50. What are the number of combinations it would take to align 50 box lids back to their original bases? We did it. And we were able to do it all except 6. 6 out of them we couldn't get to match perfectly like they did. So I took the time. I just trimmed the corners and then got them all to fit. But that was, when that first happened, I knew exactly what it had just created. A huge time problem. And it was. Anyway, price on this, yeah, you're going to go screaming for it because I actually collect boxes and love them. $44. Only $44 on that. That is a really giveaway opportunity. Take advantage of it because I do not think I have another one like that. But let me segue to item number 122524. How about this? Look at this. Look at these 2 beauties. One next to the other. What coloring? Golly, gorgeous. Lapis. Now that's a box. Boy, isn't that beautiful? All natural lapis. And this is, of course, the natural calcite that is found with the lapis. And then look at calcite lined, which gives, of course, the lapis a lot of additional strength. The lid, of course, only going to fit one way. That's beautiful. That is a striking item. Price on this one, only $68. $68. Now, let me show you, while I keep that one there, item 122924. I have another one. So, okay, so you have, of course, natural white in there. And actually, I didn't check, but I bet, let me put that one right here. I bet it will fluoresce the white calcite in it. And oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Wow, yellow fluorescence. And so it has a redeeming quality there indeed. There is, on this one, yellow fluorescence that comes all the way across right there. Anyway, just another neat property of gems and minerals. Okay, so, I was going to show you the 2 side by side. See, there's a difference. And this one's a little bit smaller. And as I spin them, there's a little bit difference in color and brightness. You know, this one being a little bit bigger and a little bit brighter. And so when you see that, that's natural. See, that's not a break or anything. That's just in lapis like it is. You know, I bet that lid, I bet those, it looks like the color that would fluoresce. And this is what I mean. I'm terrible when I'm doing this stuff. I play with it like a kid, like I have never seen this material before. And, but that's the joy. That's the joy. You just don't get something, put it on the shelf. You check it all out, even if it's a box. If it's got a rock or mineral to it, love it. $77. Only $77 on that one. And you can see how beautiful that is. You know, oh, here's what I've done before. Take a little bit of, well, even something like this background material, this stuff here, whatever it's called, and line it. Line the box. And, okay, now, I'm not even going to look at what time it's. I need lots of time. Item 1221-124. 1221-124. Okay, so everyone knows that my totem animal, and the animal I've always collected is real important to me. I'll give reasons why. Again, there's a whole story as to the reason why, but we don't have time for that right now. Is an owl. So I was looking, I have an incredible owl collection of carved owls, and I'm willing to part and share with a few of them now. And this, yep, let me check that number. That is 1221-124. What? Oh, mine have not come up. You don't have that? 1221-124. Okay, I will be happy to give that to you. So let me grab that, and it is right here. So everybody, check this out. You can be reading the info along with Astos Madagascar labradorite. It's 575 carats. And here's the important part. this is from my personal collection. That's not the important part. The important part is the high detail carving, which I don't normally make a notation regarding carvings about that. And you're going to see exactly what I'm referring to here in just a moment. Because this piece of labradorite is exquisite, and the detail, normally they'll just do a coarse kind of carving, almost childlike carving, but that was not the case. They spared no time in making this piece, and I'm going to miss some of the items I'm offering, but also I just need it. You know, it's Christmas time, and Daddy needs a couple new toofies. All right, we got it. Let's check out the owl. Look at this. Look at this. And let me actually look at that. Look at the labradorescence. Labradorite is a type of plagioclase feldspar, and I love this carving because look, it is carved. It's out of one piece. So this isn't like glued to a stand. This is still the same piece on the base. And the labradorescence was captured just in the bird. Now, here's the thing. When I get away from the labradorescence, you have to look at the detail, the feathering, the extensive time that was taken to make it so real-like, to cut and notch every one of those feathers. Now, let's take a look at the back. And as we come back away from it a little bit, so you get the look of the whole thing, is it beautiful? It is exactly beautiful, because you know what? Labradorescence runs lamellarly. In other words, if there's a layer of it on one side, many times you're going to get that same kind of labradorescence on the opposite side. You can see that happening here. Then even getting some color down. Look at that into the base. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that coloring and the detail again, the detail that was put into the carving. I love it that it stands on its own base. And so you see, right in the middle, you don't get any light because it forms lamellarly, meaning in layers this way. And boom, there you go. So for this kind of quality carving, put a price in your head of what you think something like that should be. And then when I tell you that this is only $78, that should sound really inexpensive. Now, let me show you item number 1221024. This everybody can afford. No? 1221024. Well, I won't show anybody yet. Let's just type that one in because this one. How you got it? Okay, let's look at it. Here we go. Everyone can get excited about what they're getting ready to see. Multicolored Brazilian rutilated quartz. They're polished pieces of crystal. And there's 3 of them. And I don't have another set like these. I could have sold them separately, but I'm not. I'm selling them all together, 3 pieces. And it really represents most of the different colors that rutile comes in when it forms within quartz. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here they are. Boom, boom, boom. Move this out of the way. Don't get distracted like me by beautiful baubles. Look at these. Look at these. And wow, look at that. Look at the red. This is one full of red rutile. Look at those sprays against those polished faces. That's one. Look at this one. Here we have I love that.
Looks like a sparkler.
It does look like a sparkler. Oh, right there, especially. Look at the color coming off of those. Or fireworks going sideways.
Yeah.
Ha! Look at that. Look at that.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It does look like Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, you guys are funny. See, now that's not my generation, but I do understand. I know who Sonic the Hedgehog. Look at just like that. Even his eyes. It does look like Sonic the Hedgehog. My gosh, you guys are going to keep me young. Wow. Wow. Look at that. And then here, this one. For the amount of money, I shouldn't be playing with these at all. I need to be moving on. But they're too fun. These are too beautiful. Here, I need to hold a piece of white paper behind this one. Okay, look at that. Isn't that far out? That is, from an old hippie, that's far out, man. Very groovy. Yeah. I tell you what, oh, you should see Chuck, when we had insects in amber, the shots we were getting, and Asa was helping me get. Remember those, Asa? How we were getting the ant? Remember the ant and the one and the fly and the wings? It was crazy. Yeah, we actually, Asa was so helpful in getting just the perfect shot to show everybody. All right, those 3 pieces. Here's why. Silly for me to even take any time. $28. $28 for all 3. I always have something for everybody. And that is certainly at that kind of value for everybody. Now, here we go. This is, I know I will not have another one to offer. Item 1220-624. I hope you have this. 1220-624. Good. Scooby-Doo-Right. You're saying, what is Scooby-Doo-Right? Well, our Raven, she has a way, calling the Geiger counter a gigger and, coming up with her own Barney Fife words for things. And what she came up with for the very unusual name of this very rare mineral of scooterudite was Scooby-Doo-Right. Scooby-Doo-Right. This is a rare piece I am offering of the real deal, scooterudite. It is it can be a mix of cobalt, nickel, and iron arsenate. And it forms in a environment that lends itself to some of those different, the cobalt, nickel, and iron content varying. And that's why it lists those. The official is actually just cobalt and arsenic for the official, but all other 2 elements can become involved. Here is what the money shot is. Almost all scooterudite is massive, what they call massive material like this. But when you get areas that have these fine crystals like this, that's what you want. That's where the money is. And that forms in the isometric system. So the isometric system is the same crystal system that diamond belongs to, that spinel belongs to. And you can see that. Look at that. Here's your bipyramidal crystal, where you have 2 pyramids base to base. And look at how perceptible these crystals are to be able to see exactly the nature of that. And then you have calcite. You have calcite. And the calcite does have fluorescence. Look at those. And of course the piece is heavy. So yeah, let me actually take this slide off and give you another vantage point of it. And look at, this is, if you had just a massive piece of Scooby-Doo, of scooterudite, it would be of very little value. It's when you have the crystals on it that really add the value to it. It was named after its type locality where it was first found, which was Scooterud mines. It was the Scooterud, Norway. And that's where it got its name. But I have this, and this one is, of course, from Morocco, where most of the nice ones are from the Bruismas mine. And price on this guy, hate to let it go, but I always want to bring you new and exciting things. This is certainly one of them. And making it a bargain makes it, golly, only $88. Only $88, and tough to find another one. I'm getting ready to show you something that you have not seen ever in this show, or even maybe in my live shows that I did for 9 years. Had the Monday overnight, 3 to 9, 9 years, okay? Let's look at item 1220-824. Hopefully you have this one, because it's a long one. Great. Okay, so don't pull it up yet. I am getting ready to show everyone a world-class specimen. This is going to be from old stock. And again, my thing about owls, well, Many, many years ago, I treated myself when I had more money and didn't need teeth to this item. And it is now almost irreplaceable for the rarity and the quality that it is. That's why you have in there old, you're going to see the mention of old stock. So before I pull it up, what it is, I want you to see it first and Google it. Look at that. Now, I know a lot of you out there already know exactly what it is. This is one of the finest quality pieces of this material you will ever see. Now, get in your mind what you think it is, because this is part of the learning process. Let's say you came across this in an estate sale and they wanted $25 for it or something like that. Would you know that it's not a cast piece of glass, or whether it is formed from some type of ceramic? Or would you know it to be, let's pull it up. Look at this. And as Kenichi, with a hard G, Sugi, in 1945, when he first discovered sugilite, would love for us to all pronounce his name correctly with the hard G, naming it sugilite. Little did he know that the Japanese material that was discovered paled in comparison to when the Kalahari manganese fields in the northern Cape of South Africa, when sugilite was discovered there. This is, and it can only be in a certain range, we talked about this the other week, purple gel. This is the quality of sugilite that gets the purple gel classification. Look at that. Look, all one solid piece of material. Here's the other thing. You can see how big it is. I had no idea. It didn't affect or change the price I had put on it, but I did, out of curiosity, go and look up carvings done out of sugilite. There was nothing in this quality range, nothing. But what I did find anything similar was 3 to 4 times what I'm asking for this. Now, let me just do one thing. Let me show you. Here is what some of the things you look for to know you have something of a gel type of quality. Is the sugilite, because sugilite is mostly opaque. So if you get any kind of, look at that, even at the end, translucency through the material, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Then you know you have gel. And you can see when the light hits it, how it penetrates into the surface. See that right there? You can see the light going into the surface. And then at the edge there, look at that. All the way down the edge. There we go. See the light penetrating back into the wing. Yeah. That is the world-class material. And owls are beautiful creatures, world round. Look at that. Outstanding. And I'll just raise the gate on it for a minute so you can look at it. Okay, price on this. It is so far below the market that I hope this sells. There's no room for me to make it less than. I'll have to put it into a different market, but I would love for one of you out there to have probably what would be the finest sugilite piece you would have, and more so than anyone else would have. Sugilite, there is less sugilite in this world than there is tanzanite. I mean, I'm telling you, it's that rare, and it is that beautiful to work with. I'm going to regret this, because this, again, was a special piece I had bought a number of years ago, and I don't even remember what I paid, but I think it is right in the range for what I'm asking. $488. $488 on that. Can't go wrong. And of course, that's one where I actually want you to go research. I welcome it to research sugilite carvings. Here's the other thing. You also want to make sure you don't get any of that dyed material. You want to make sure that it's polished, that you don't get these carvings that aren't polished, that if it's not polished, it can hide a lot of other minerals. It can hide a lot of other imperfections. Anyway, just some thoughts on that. Let me show you in the carving realm. Item 1221 224. 1221 224. Oh boy. Look at this. You got it? What happened? Okay, take a look at this one. The only place I have it is on the bottom. Oh, nope, it's not there either. Yeah, 1224 to 1221 224.
1221. Hold on.
1221 224. And it is a Tanzanian ruby and zoisite and pargasite. Let me see if I can label here. Here we go. Let's work with this one. That'll give you everything you need. Chuck, if you can, there we go. Ruby and zoisite and pargasite. Now, I can be talking about this piece while you're looking and typing. Pargasite. Now, remember ruby and zoisite, I used to say Shermerkite because that's what the information was given at the time, a type of hornblende. But it is not. It is actually pargasite. Those are the black spots in the ruby and zoisite. They call it, the Maasai call it, and of course zoisite is ZOI. The Maasai tribes of Tanzania and Kenya, they call this material anyolite, ANYOLITE, because it is the Maasai word for green. When this material was first discovered, imagine the European stumbling upon a deposit where huge rubies, of course, you know, this material, the ruby and zoisite, can produce huge rubies. He thought he had a fortune's worth. He got backing and financing and dug until they dug no more out of disappointment, thinking they were going to find something, rubies of gem value. They're not, but they certainly value of carving value. Look at how beautiful that is. And here's the other cool thing. Zoisite is fluorescent. And it is quite fluorescent. Hold on. Let me put that there for you to look at for just a minute while I check this myself. Yeah, so that green will go to a blue-gray. Isn't that amazing? And of course, the ruby red goes super bright. Look at that. Beautiful rubies right in the back of the head. Rubies all around. And I have a stunning price on this piece. I am offering this at only, you're not going to believe it, $118. $118. For a ruby and zoisite carving, skull carving. Skull carvings are expensive and they take up a lot of material. And look how big that is. Look how big that is. Look at the translucency to the material. And what looks like black specks, these are actually super, super dark green. Super dark green. So get in on that. Now, let's see, so much to do. Okay. I don't want to miss out on the next set of goodies I have for you. Okay. Now, for Miss Arlene, item number 1209224. 1209224. You mentioned a chocolate opal. You couldn't afford it. Well, maybe Miss Arlene, I don't think you saw this one. It's one I had shown a few weeks back, but it is still available. It's probably waiting for you. Here is a Macesso one from the 1990s. Some beautiful fire and color. It's actually been, you could easily cut a stone. It's not crazed. It's just a really nice example of a Macesso chocolate opal. And as a newcomer to the show, how about this for you? Only $21. Only $21 for that one. So if you want to make it yours, just jump in and get your order in on that. Now, here is something that I did the turquoise presentation for this reason. You're getting ready to see an estate piece, and it is a world-class type of item. This is item number item 1219-824. 1219-824. You have it?
Yep.
Excellent. Now, let me show you I did a lot of research on this, and so first, let me show you the chemical formula of what we're going to be looking at, so you can understand it when I talk to you. Right away, you should know the Cu by now is copper. That's supposed to be an L. So there's copper, aluminum. That's a phosphorus and oxygen makes phosphate. That's a hydroxide molecule. And that is dot 4H2O, meaning with 4 molecules of water. So it's a copper aluminum phosphate. That's turquoise. This is turquoise. But this right there, this is the reason turquoise has to be stabilized. It dries out. It dries out. Often it will dry out when it's brought to the surface and crumble to dust if it's not stabilized. That becomes the problem. The copper aluminum phosphate, that's kind of unique and different in itself. Now, the Miami Inspiration Mining District, you've heard of that? It is where the Sleeping Beauty turquoise is from. Sleeping Beauty is given that name, and I have actually been there and seen it, and it's very true. If you look at what they call the Sleeping Beauty Mountain, it looks like Sleeping Beauty laying on her side, if you looked at it from her side, the profile of her head, her upper chest, and the rest of her, and that's where it gets its name. So it's a mining district, and that is in Globe, Arizona, Gila County. That's where Sleeping Beauty turquoise is from. Not all. Now, I showed and sold that piece of rough, beautiful, which I wish I would have known, that piece of Sleeping Beauty turquoise, really fine, high-grade quality. But one of the other wonderful, wonderful qualities of turquoise that comes out of the Sleeping Beauty mine is still the same color turquoise, but it has spider webbing in it. And the spider webbing isn't your normal manganese oxide. I'm going to show you a real Native American world-class piece of jewelry. Check this out. Take a look at this. Look at this. Look, yeah, it's pyrite. That is pyrite. And there's method to my madness. Why did you get the turquoise lesson to start with? So you could appreciate what I'm showing you now. So you can look at this yourself and see that there is no dyeing in any of the inclusion lines. There's no darkening of material. That the blue is all an even color blue in the classic Sleeping Beauty color. But if this was all perfect blue, if my choice was between a perfect blue cab or this cab with the pyrite, I'd take this cab with the spider webbing all day long. Not only is there potential for it to be worth more, but it is certainly aesthetically much more attractive and uniquely so because of, look at the pyrite crystals in it. Look at the pyrite, fool's gold. Here, okay, there is every chance in the world that you have bought knockoff Native American jewelry in your past. Almost can guarantee it. If you do not know about, I don't have time today to give you the Native American lesson, but I certainly can. I know everything about it, from the Tibetan silver, jewelry and coral markets to the Native American markets. What you want to see is imperfections if they're handmade. In other words, one side isn't exactly even as the other side. Unevenness in metal. That tells you they're handmade, and originality of design. I want to show you something. Okay, so the back of this, it matches, it has everything it's supposed to have. Imperfections. You see solder, which is really amazing. This pin part, so it's a pin pendant, has been soldered on. You can see they partially started to cover up SR, so they restamped it SR. There's only one SR under the Native American Hallmark section. Now, SR stands for Sam Roanhouse. If you go and look up his work, he does high-end stuff. He does the kind of quality that this piece would reflect. And often, as with most Native American, their stamps will be similar, but sometimes he may spell out Sam Roanhouse, sometimes it's just Roanhouse. Just depends on the amount of work. The key is the amount of available space and the effort it takes. Some just hand engrave it, SR only belongs to one Native American, and that is Sam Roanhouse, and he's from the Navajo tribe, which is in the upper eastern corner of Arizona, and it borders New Mexico, part of New Mexico, and into Utah as well. Their work is characterized by pieces like this. I'm going to show you something else, and we'll talk about the difference in a minute. This is, I can't tell you, on a level far beyond almost any other piece of turquoise and silver work you're going to see. In the combination, this piece of turquoise is phenomenal, and it is completely natural, and comes from the Copper Cities mine. You're saying Copper Cities mine? Yeah. So guess what? People don't tell you this because maybe it doesn't sound fancy or something. Copper Cities mine? That's the mine Sleeping Beauty turquoise comes from. They talk about Sleeping Beauty turquoise. It does not come from a place called Sleeping Beauty turquoise mine. I'm sorry. No. It's from the Miami Inspiration Mining District. The particular mine itself is called the Copper Cities mine. That's where this piece is from. And that is where Sleeping Beauty turquoise comes from, the actual mine itself. This piece easily in the markets would sell for over $1,000 easily. And I should price it as such. But I have this market right now, and you guys, and you're used to getting incredible values, and I'm going to offer that on this piece. It will never be less than this. I would rather keep it, and of course wear it myself. I have no problem wearing that. $248. $248, and that is a opportunity of a lifetime. World class. Let's look at item 1219-924. 1219-924. Now, this is where we can talk about this one. Let's look at this one first. Okay, so here we have, look at this. Look at these two colors. Look at how well they match. Look at how well they match. This is a ring, and of course, you know I would have already checked it. Sleeping Beauty turquoise. Now, price on this ring, it is much less than it should be. It's only $44. Take advantage of it. You see this on the back? You think, God, what did someone do? Well, you know they're not going to do that for any purpose. You don't need that to test it. That is actually a signature. And I didn't take the time to analyze it. I think there's a T and maybe an A. But you can just go Google Native American hallmarks. They'll pull up the whole list for you. That is a signature. And it may very well actually look like that. They have. So you can do your own research on this. Sterling silver piece. And again, you can see the similarity of type design for Navajo. You see the twisted edge, the twisted rope? Okay, so I'm going to take this away and set it aside for a moment while you look at that. That is only $44. And reason being, now, let's look at item number 1219-724. 1219-724. I wish I had time right now to give you the full Native American lesson, but that might clash with some other information you've been told in the past, or something that you may have, and then all of a sudden realize that you don't have what you thought you had. And I don't want to create that situation for you. Just enjoy it for whatever it is. And but there's a whole gigantic world to knock off counterfeit Native American jewelry. It's a huge problem. Here's the other important thing. If it is a true Native American made piece, it will begin with an S. No one's told you that, have they? Sam Roanhouse just got lucky. His name started with an S. It is not completely defining, because I see some others will use other initials, but many times there will be an S at play in the form of, in the beginning. Or it's going to be like this piece. Take a look at this. Now, here is the difference. You see the difference in style. This is Zuni. This is a Zuni-made piece. Now, Zuni are a tribe from New Mexico. Sedona, Gallup, those are all cities in the Navajo area. And Zuni aren't far away. Their style, the way you can recognize true Zuni and the difference between Zuni and Navajo is Zuni like to work with small stones. They will work with small stones. They'll do inlay items like this. Navajo like bigger stones, bigger projects. This is a classic Zuni style ring. As a matter of fact, you can actually see this exact ring on the internet. It is signed. Look at this. This doesn't have to begin with an S because when their names are very well spelled out, here you go. Ardishta. I mean, that is making it plain and clear. Needless to say, that was really easy to find in the Native American and for it to be determined as Zuni because he's a well-known Zuni artisan. Here is a genuine, and if there's no better certification than what you see on the back of that for getting an original from the 1970s kind of piece. And again, price far less than you'll ever see something like that, a genuine article going for. Only $48. Only $48 for that. Okay, let's look at item 1219-624. 1219-624. Oh man, I got it. All right, this is for either just fun collectors or those of you like Anthony that have a cab collection. I collected these. It took me a long time, but they were all going to be projects. Look at this is some of the highest quality inlay. These are most of them are capped with a, but not all, with a glass. Look at that lapis, like a triplet, and you can see how they're done. They are some of the finest hand cut and inlaid pieces I have ever seen, and I don't know. I've kept them for a long time. I would imagine they're quite labor intensive. They're all in perfect shape. There's no nicks or breaks. Look at this one. This one was really the coolest. I think it's just a moss agate, or which would be like chlorite and quartz. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And the real deal, genuine minerals. And oh, one more. Look at that. So you actually have the two rounds are the same size. Then you have the rectangle, the opal, and then that big round. If you do nothing with them but enjoy them and sit them out, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I've been doing with them. Price on all of them, all five, only $48. $48. Wait till you see this one, Chuck. Wait till everyone sees this one. Item 122724. Remember I told you I had a thing for owls. I collected them for years. I didn't realize, well, I guess, I don't know. It's sad, but I have others and it'll be for a good reason. Look at this. Look at this carving. Oh man, this is outrageous. Okay, look, so far. Cool owl, right? Huh? Neat? Yeah? Anything special about it? Well, yeah, there is. Look at this. Look at these emerald crystals. Yeah, that got some wows from the two in the crowd here. Look at this. So you're familiar with this material. That's the Bahia emeralds, the Bahia emerald pieces of crystalline matrix specimens that I've had and sold just the emerald pieces before. This is when they take those pieces and the very ingenious carvers are able to work around what they have and extract, so to speak. It's all out of one piece. He hadn't been placed in there out of the quartz part of this. Look at that. And then polish the emerald crystals that are in it. Look at that one. Look at this one. And they are not just shabby emeralds either. Let's back, look at that. Look at that. That is some gemmy material. Look at the colors in that. And I mean, talk about unique and different. It is something, wow. you don't see every day. And I don't know, that's one of the really neatest owls I have had in my collection. Yeah, I think it displays beautifully like that. Price on this is exceptional for what it is. Yeah, see, have a price in your mind, and then when I tell you it's only $288, you know that's a lot less than what you thought it was going to be. Now, oh, everybody loves what I'm going to show you next. Item 1219 324. Take a look at this. We've had other requests. I haven't been willing to part with anything, but I'm willing to part with one more. One more. Look at fibrous malachite. And this one is stunning for its fibronicity. Yeah, I made that word up, I'm sure. Look at that. Look at that. That looks like that micro suede stuff where you sit on the couch and you can tell where you sat. You know, you leave a mark behind. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Chuck. That's what it looks like. Yeah. 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 So you turn this a different angle and it looks completely different. Look at this. So this is all crystallized. This is actually crystallized. And fibrous malachite, some of the finest comes from the Kasi mine in Katanga, the Maringi mine. Look at this. Look at these sprays. Phenomenal. Phenomenal piece. This is one, again, you want to look at and look at and look at. And look it back in there. There's no telling, get a light. I didn't actually do that. You never know. That's where you find often little micro minerals that are ultra rare. There's something sparkling. See that brown right down in there? Mm-hmm. Can you just focus on that for a second? Something's in there. And that looks crystalline, but I'll leave it up to the next guy to figure it out. I have a amazing price. Here, this stuff has gone crazy price-wise. I didn't realize it. Of course, these pieces I have are 10 and 15 years old. So I'm offering these at prices that I could never even begin to replace them for. 128 bucks. Only $128 on that. And an excellent, excellent opportunity. Oh, let me show this real quick. Yeah, it does look like it would be soft, but it's not. And it's really heavy, and there's no, I can push my hand against it and nothing's gonna happen. Okay, I wanna show everybody this real quick. I have a GIA cert, no item number, Asif. This is just if anybody over the last 17 years, or let's say 10 years, bought this sapphire from me. Apparently I sold a no heat sapphire with a GIA certification right there, no heat. And I did not know it was GIA certified. I had it certified. I just didn't put the cert with the stone. So if anybody has the round purple, what's the weight? Carat 80, I think. Yeah, carat 80. Those are the dimensions. I will just give this to you. And good on you for being able to get in on a no heat sapphire that I accidentally sold for an as is. So kind of deal. Let me show you. Item number 1221, 324. Oh yeah, the fun's still going on. We're gonna go until time no more. I haven't even put anything away. I am just showing and going. The thing. I think so. Yep, you got it?
No.
Oh. Okay, so let's get everybody excited as I'm showing it. Asif's gonna be typing it. Check this out. Russian charoite. There we go. Let me see if we can. Sorry about that. Russian charoite and amethyst. Sterling silver, pin pendant. It's an estate piece with mother of pearl. 2 inches long. 14.40 grams. And remember, with what silver is, all the silver in all of everyone's collection is worth a lot more than it was a few months ago. All right, look at this. Look at how, you need any more info, Os? Okay, look at this. So here's the pendant bail. Here's the pin, very nicely done. There's the 925. Of course, any of you can polish this up better. We'll forgive him. Yeah, I knew he was going to get the charoite. I knew he knew how to spell it. Look at the mother of pearl. Look at the amethyst, cab amethyst there, facet amethyst. Here's the money right there. And for charoite, this is a incredibly beautiful charoite. You can see the fibrous nature of it and how it almost looks like a petersite with the way the movement in it. But I love this like river of pink running through it, which is different. And wow, that is really ethereal. That's a cool piece of charoite. Anyway, when I tell you how much this is, you're going to love it because it's only $48. The charoite's worth that. $48 for the entire thing. Yeah, $48. Wow. I'd give you a better showing, except I want to get to as many items as I can. Here's a round sapphire. It better not be a carat 80. Oh, that'd be nice. Carat 57. Okay, what next for you real quick? I had a lot of gemstones, but I'm thinking about doing something different with gemstones. I think I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. How's that? I'm going to do something a little bit different now. Now, with the clock, oh yeah, here we go. The clock running out. I know that we have diamond buyers out there. I'm not sure who everybody is, but someone out there has been buying up the diamonds. Item 1187, 624. 1187, 624. I have a special right here on a parcel of diamonds, and let me show them to you. Look at these. Look at these. So they go from 2.2 to 2.9 millimeters. They're half carat total weight. They're SI clarity, and you can see the color as well. This is just a really nice working parcel. Now my tray also is a little bit off color, so you're going to love the price. So this is the big one, the kind of stones that you can use as replacements or in everyday jewelry. Yeah, that's nice. And diamonds, these are earth mined. Oh, could you put in there earth mined? It is so important. And I see advertising now focusing on diamonds. You know, someone's love takes a long time to grow, as does an earth mined diamond. And it's funny because that's the exact term that I have been using to separate it, using earth mine. Because other than that, the people selling lab-grown diamonds are calling them natural diamonds and et cetera. There's got to be some differentiation. These actually are a little bit better color than what you're seeing. But at the price, it's going to be so cheap it won't matter. How about this? I had them offered them at only $175 a carat, which made them $87. How would someone like to get that entire, that half carat of diamonds for $58? $58. That is, not much more than $100 a carat, which is a huge opportunity. Huge opportunity. Now, let me go through here real quick. I am one to miss. Okay. As we are about to wrap up the show, I won't grab anything from there. I had some other things to get into, but they just would take a little bit too long to explain. So let me show you something here that item 1214 524. 1214 524. Now, if you're a crystal collector, this is going to be one of the most difficult crystals to affordingly get. Look at that. Look at that. How much from there? Look at that. Imperial topaz. Imperial topaz. It even looks beautiful next to the diamonds. I mean, look at that. So we'll put those aside, make sure no one gets confused with those. This is look at that crystal. Look at this. This is imperial topaz. And it is the real imperial, not just yellow topaz or golden topaz. This is, look at that. You see the pink? You see the sherry in that? That's what it needs to have to be true. genuine, without a doubt, Imperial topaz. This is actually from my friend's mine, the Bella Vista mine, and which I've told you about stories. Look at the clarity. Look at the clarity. In the world of topaz, they facet that clarity. You can see the perfect cleavage. See how that termination is perfectly flat? That will break like that all the way down it. And you have to know how to cut topaz in particular, any kind, blue topaz or regular topaz. This crystal would make a stunning item for a wire wrapper. I still have a wrap guy that can wire wrap things for you. Anybody, or to add to your collection because you don't have one. You're going to get it sale price now. I had it for inexpensively at $68. Here we go. I'm going to give you a big discount, $48. $48. I won't sell it for less than that. And because even if I faceted it, the value of the stone would exceed that. Okay, I think I have the last item of the show in my hands, and it's item 1219-524. 1219-524. Not going out with a huge earth shaker, but certainly something unique and different. Look at this. This is upside down. Look at this. A lightning strike, a fulgurite. We'll show the whole box first. Do I have it both? Okay, hold on. Here we go. And then you can read this side of where it came from. Now, so this guy in Florida, he had operated a sand operation for years and years and years. And with this big rotating drum, it separates out everything from the sand. And what he was left with, because it was from a huge area of sand, over eons of time, he ended up with a number of fulgurites, a lot of fulgurites. Now, fulgurite is what it happens when a lightning strikes sand. What it does, it is so hot, it fuses the inside of the sand, and you can see a glassy look to it. It fuses the inside to glass, and then the outside ends up looking like this. When you have heard about a lightning strike being no wider than a pencil, this proves the truth to it. The lightning bolts you see are only as wide as what is created right there. So the lightning bolt fuses the sand around the bolt itself. You can see the shininess creating the glass only on the inside, because that's the heat and temperature it takes. This one goes all the way through. That's what makes it really desirable as well. It's a completely hollow. And so anyway, he would collect at the end, all the fulgurites from the sand mining operation, because over this area of sand, over eons of time, lots of lightning had struck this a little higher, the dune area. The lightning's going to strike the dune areas and the higher areas. So this is a really cool collectible piece. It's in a Riker mount box, and as the last item of the show, I have a special on it, $28. $28. Look at that, only $28. You get the information with it, the Riker mount box, and it's one of the really nice, better ones. Beware, because you see how I showed you how it's hollow through there? They can form, and there can be areas that aren't completely open like that through it. And so unless you look at it and can see it and know it, or see the piece itself, it's easy to buy a poor quality one than one you might think. All right. That said, that wraps up the show. I wish I could keep going, but wait till you see what I have coming up for you next week. I'll be right back with trivia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we saved the best for the last. Now, before I move or anything, I need to tell you about this crystal. I'm hanging it upside down at the moment, but that is not completely necessary to show you the bubble, the anhydro bubble. There's not only one, there's actually two, right? Yeah, I need to, hold on, let me get my other hand here. There's actually two, and they're larger than what you are going to see right now, because the bubble needs to gather back up its air from these areas in here. Now, the bubble is right there, right above the tweezer, right there. Watch that spot, and it's going to move to over here. Now, there's another one I'll show you in a moment where to look for it. depending on the way you turn these crystals, remember, the water and the bubble are going to go into different areas, and at times will be smaller or bigger, depending on how much other air it left behind in these other voids. Right now, we're going to look for the one that's right here. So with Asif's direction, you ready? Look at there, look at that bubble move. And it is not shy at all. It goes quite a ways. Should I be pointing at it now, or do you think everyone can see that? Yeah, hold on, let me get the key. Okay, so everybody look right there, and you can see it moving right back and forth there. That will actually go further to the left, but we don't want to turn it that way because I don't want it to get hidden back there again. Now, where did I have this? Okay.
There.
Yep. Now let's go back. And there's something just really amusing about having that bubble and being able to play with it back and forth. Hold on. I've got the light. And there we go. Look at that move. Look at that move. When you think that that is the best mineral water you could ever have, going back millions of years, I would imagine it's heavy on the silica, but that bubble has been in that little cavity. It's called a two-phase inclusion. Sometimes you get a piece of other sediment of hard material. Then it's a three-phase inclusion. But you can see that that bubble readily moves very obviously. Now, since you know that that's there, here's how I'm going to show you how you know where to find it. So keep this in mind. If you look up on this crystal, you see this negative void, you can see where another crystal was. That's what you can see the shape of it. That's not where a crystal broke off or anything. It's where, like one of these, where it just didn't molecularly bond with the crystal when it was growing on the side. So if you use that as a marker for the crystal that you look to the right for, and you'll find it right over there. Now, let me show you though. There is absolutely 100% guaranteed, if you can find another crystal bubble, a large one that will appear over on this side. It's at a little bit different height, and it is absolutely a separate and large bubble. I'll just play with it here for a minute, if by chance it isn't shy and wants to appear. But that is the fun with an anhydro piece like this. So there's two bubbles. What happens is, when you turn it this way, wait till you see this cluster. It's a gorgeous specimen. In a moment, you'll get to see the rest of it. So what happens is the bubble goes up into these other voids and kind of dissipates into some smaller ones. But then if everything goes right, you wait till you see how large the bubbles actually are when it picks up all of its other little areas of gas that it has left in those voids with the other liquid. Now, let's look at the specimen. This is a gorgeous amethyst. This is one of the finest classic Guerrero amethysts that you could have. It is very distinct. They're Amatitlan specimens from the Padre Parada specimens. Those other amethyst specimens you see will have the purple at the tips instead of, as you can see, the purple is at the bases of these crystals. Also, from this locality, they're known for almost celery stalk formations. You can see that they grow close to the large center stalk and very closely parallel it around it, as you see here. This is in incredibly great condition with complete terminations. You have here, it has also phantoms. And let me see if I can show you. Let's look in right up here at the top real quick. And you can see they're not as obvious as other phantoms, but you can see right there a V shape. You see the V shape. That is the phantoms. And if you look further down, you'll see other V-shaped formations, not as distinct, but they are there. So yeah, there we go. You can easily see this one now. It all depends on how, see that, the lighting. And you can see the kind of inclusions. There's also additional crystal inclusions. I found calcite crystals in here. So you have, and other quartz crystals as well. So there's manifestation crystals. And then look at that incredibly dark amethyst area. And there could be numerous other anhydro bubbles. This piece is an awesome collector item and very aesthetically beautiful. It's large, and I was just going to actually put a bigger price on that, but I tell you what, if it doesn't sell at that price, I'm keeping it. It is too rare of a find. Okay, we can leave the shot right there because it is what am I time. This is, instead of trivia, what we do is we put out specimens, and then you tell right back and tell us what they are. Okay, so it's going to be left to right. There is 6 of them. Now, I put out that many to give everyone an opportunity to get 1 or 2 right, or none, or 6. There's, you know, it's not a right or wrong thing. It is as far as the mineral specimens go, but it is just an opportunity to see how good you are at being able to field identify items from strictly looking at them in everyone's case out there without even touching them. So in this case, though, I will give you close-ups. Let's start off with number 1, left to right. So you just write down, what am I? So if we look at this closely, and remember, it can be anything. One time I had a piece of concrete. So you never know. You never know. And actually, most everybody did get it correct, that there was something funny and wrong with it. So here is, okay, here's a specimen you can see there. So what am I? What am I? There's the back side of it. Okay, here's the next one. Just that little crystal right there. Square shape, what am I? These, look at those. All of these are items that we've shown or discussed or talked about in the show at some point. And then the next one, look at this. You can see the end shape to the crystal, the striations on the side. Now we have this. I'll give you a hint. I mined this myself. It's very splintery and can easily get a splinter from it. And then, what is this cabochon? Something all of you should be familiar with. Okay, we'll show you just the group of the 6 real quick, and then I'll tell you goodbye. So, good luck, all of you, on the What Am I trivia. I know a lot of you like to participate in that, but you know, if you don't know any of them, that's fine. Just do your best. There's no criticism or anything like that. It's just part of the fun. And sometimes it's not always the number 1 winner that gets the prize. Like just last week, I gave 3 different people the prize. I had a lot of fun showing you today, especially things like the anhydro. And I got to thank the guys. Thanks Chuck and Asa for having the patience and time it takes to bring you like the anhydro bubble. But let me tell you, the anhydro still was a disappointment to me because before I brought it, it has 2 giant bubbles. So the bubbles got jostled around and dissipated a little bit, but you saw they're there, so you know they're there. Have fun with it. Gather up those bubbles. Find the second one. That piece, it's easily worth 2 or 3 times that for all the goodies and everything involved and for its location. Okay, so Asa's got to go. I need to go. Need to clean up this big mess. I love and appreciate all of you so much. Please, those of you who haven't commented or haven't participated in the trivia, feel free to join. We give away cool and neat stuff, and just want you part of the show. All of you who have been part of the show and kept supporting it, thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, Shawn at gems.com. Shawn at gems.com is where you leave your comments or the answers to the trivia. Also, one last moment, let me tell you, go to Gem Shopping's website, gemshopping.com. Go down to the bottom to the site map, click on it. There'll be 2 columns. Look on the right-hand side column, go down to where it says Ask Shawn, click on that. It takes you to, if you want to know any of the general rules of the trivia, it takes you also to the how-to videos and to a link to this show as well. Treat yourself so you familiarize yourself so you can come back week after week. We've been here for 7.5 years doing this video cast. Have a lot more to show you ahead. God bless all of you. Take care. Hope you're having a great fall, and I will see you next week. Cheers.